Well, welcome back to College Football 25 and building the Chippewas. We are right at the start of 2029, which means we're going to set up our recruiting board. A reminder that we went a little bit more aggressive on the custom schedule this time around. We got a ranked opponent week 1, only because I think that's a ranked opponent that we can beat. Then we start MAC play, but then we face Boise on the blue turf. We face another Big Ten team, this time Illinois. And wrap up non-conference play with what is supposed to be a little bit of a cupcake in Coastal Carolina. But anyway, something else we should touch on before we get into the recruiting is also the fact that this is really a big season for us. We've been trending in the right direction the last couple seasons, so we don't want to lose some of that progress and lose a little bit of team prestige. So, important season for us to kind of maintain right where we are. Another conference championship would be great, but a real chance for us this year to kind of take some shots when it comes to recruiting. Let's take a look at the prospect list. There's actually some 4-star as well. A 4-star, a couple 4-stars in recommended, so that's good. We could also take a shot at some 5-stars. Now, not a quarterback right now because I'm fairly happy with where we are with Paul Spitz. There's actually only 2 5-star receivers. So, maybe not. Maybe we just go after some 4-stars. Can we sort by interest? It's only Kazur, however you pronounce that name there. Dayton, Ohio. I think it's worth a look. Then we'll go out of state on another 4-star receiver. Proximity to home is a good one. Antoine Garrison. Yeah, we'll go after that. Not a need, but you always need receivers. Come on. So quarterback not super important, especially with Spitz entering his redshirt freshman season, I think, unless I'm mistaken. So, not super essential. We could probably skip quarterback this year. Got a running back, a 4-star running back that is interested in us early, in Kane Sharp. We always have a tough time keeping 4-star running backs, so we'll keep him. Set on fullback for a while. A couple of 4-star tight ends looking at us. Akeem Mills and Josh Hoffman. We're going to go after both of them. Offensive tackle, there's 3. Might as well try and add all them. 2 guards. A center. Center's still not a need, though, which is a little bit surprising. Alright, fine. We'll skip center. This looks really encouraging. The fact that there's this many 4-stars that are thinking about us right now. This guy's ranked 7th at his position. Let's try and go after him and get Matthew Tam off the board. Defensive tackle. Barry Villain. Brendan Beaver. Let's go after Villain and Beaver here. Outside linebacker. I mean, it's just so encouraging to see us on the list for so many of these guys. Morgan Major. That's a phenomenal name. Got a 4-star safety that we're 3rd on the list for. Storm Vick. Another phenomenal name. Let's add him. And then also John Snow. Strong safety, not a position of need, but we're going to add Tony Bridges in here anyway. That's 20 targets. We don't necessarily need a kicker or a punter right now. Let's go after the top kicker in the class, maybe. Maybe go a little bit farther down. Devin Robbins. Same with punter. Sorted backwards. Got Josh Hicks already thinking about us, so let's add him. Well, we might as well fill the board here this go-around. Feel pretty good about the guys we've added to the board thus far. There's always going to be 3 stars that we're going to be able to get to this team if we need to. Might as well go after some. I mean, there are a couple of 4-star quarterbacks that are thinking about us. I mean, I guess it doesn't really hurt. Only one guy that's not a scrambler, though, and Leo Nunn. Meh. Some 4-star running backs. Sharp was the only one interested. I don't know. Where do we... Surprisingly, not a lot of these positions are positions of need. Which is really, really surprising. But, I mean, this could be a big year for us if we somehow get a really nice class with a bunch of 4-stars that can really propel us to the next level. Just go after all those guys. Why not? Same with defensive tackle. Outside linebacker, we already targeted the ones. Brian Hurt. Middle linebacker, we only got one in there. Corner would be a great position to target, actually. Not that many thinking about us. We're actually an A- when it comes to championship contender right now. That's a bit of a surprise. Coach Prestige to Sean Castile. I think I'm looking more so at the guys whose deal breakers are Coach Prestige. Hey, look at all the fullbacks that want to come to Central Michigan. How about the top fullbacks in the class? Max Brutus. That is the name of a fullback, I'll tell you that. And then just so many... Oh, those are 3-stars. Let's go back into receivers here. Just completely, potentially flip our offense. #1 player in the state of South Carolina, Jermaine Tolson. We're right at his proximity to home, and that's not going anywhere, so that's good. And then let's add, let's just add a center, even though we don't really need it, but this guy could be an instant upgrade for us. So for the first time ever, our board is filled with all, well, mostly 4-stars, and then 3 stars at fullback, kicker, and punter. I mean, if this works out, this could be a massive year for us. I also, watching Austin stream last night, finally figured out why we couldn't recruit for those first few weeks of the season. We were recruiting, and I just didn't know it. I didn't realize that these hours that we thought we were spending once on these players, you were spending every week. So, when it said we didn't get any hours, it was because they were already spent. And the only reason we got some, and increasingly more as the season goes along, is because you lose recruits to other schools. So those hours are then freed up. So you have all these hours every week. Alright, so that's done. So now we can go into scouting with the 450 hours that we have left. Corbin Kazur. Oh, well, we're already getting busts. 89 speed. That's not good. Not good at all. Don't tell me all these guys can't be busts, right? At least he's got 90 speed. Okay, finally a gem. 93 speed at the halfback position. Wouldn't that be nice to have? I think we already have it, to be honest. Now, even though these guys might be busts, I feel like we recruit them anyway because they're gonna be better than what we have. Going after the 3-stars, even though there's a lot of busts here. Jesus Christ, 3 in a row? That's brutal. There we go, we got another gem at the defensive end position. Wouldn't that be nice to have? Brendan Beaver, please don't be a bust. Thank you. Another gem, alright. Evening out a little bit. Storm Vic, please. We're gonna get a good chunk of the way down the... we don't need to scout kickers. What are we doing? Alright, that's one of the receivers. Another gem. There's a bust. And that is our week 1 recruiting done. So even though Kazur is a bust, like I said, we're going to want to go after as many players as we can right away. Now, I'd rather go after the gems first. Make sure we get them done. And spend those 65 hours every single week. And then we'll get selective on the rest of them. I didn't even realize. Like, this is a whole different thing for us. Now that we kind of figured out how recruiting works. To the point that we don't feel bad going after these guys just that hard immediately. That's how we're going to get them here. Also going to get Storm Vic with the 65. 240 hours left. Were there any other gems? There we go. Howie Kruger. That's another receiver. Are there any others? No, we didn't scout anyone else. So, what I think we're going to do now, then, is get some interest in on as many other players as we can. To at least let them know that we're here. Oh, well, I fucked that up. That's not good. Just doing the things that if we're going to spend the 65 hours, we're going to do anyway. So the DMs and the social media search. So there's going to be some players that we're not able to get to. Actually, a pretty good chunk of them. We're already locked out on Bridges, so we'll just take him off the board right away. And locked out on Zuniga. So we'll get him off. And that's going to be week 1 for us done. So for whatever reason, even though it says on the helmet pop-up over here that we're ranked 25th, on top and on the play game, it doesn't say we're ranked. So I don't know what the hell's going on with the rankings. But we got Middle Tennessee State, which is a team I already think we're better than. A top 25 win this early in the season, even though it's at home, could mean wonders for us. Leading on Sharp, leading on Mills, leading on Hoffman, trailing here on Tommy Reed. I mean, 15 hours, that's probably a good decision to just go down here and find a player that we know we're going to want. Like corner Courtney Burks. We'll spend 15 hours on him. Get Redmond off. Tolson off the board. And I think that's all the ones that we're locked out on. Nope. Morgan Major. Oh, no. That name was so sick. That's not good. Man, this game right here I really thought was going to be a season tone setter for us. And let's hope that's not the case, because we do lose to Middle Tennessee State, even though we were a better overall team than they were. We had the home field advantage on that, and we still lose by 3. That's rough. Early MAC opener now against Northern Illinois. So recruiting is kind of just done for the moment. We could take hours away from players that don't need it, but I really don't think there's going to be that many of them. So I'd rather focus on the 4 stars that we have targeted right now. We're going to be in probably a tight battle for Kane Sharp with Ohio State. Kazur here, Michigan State with some big interest. This could still flop in our face, but I want to stay aggressive when it comes to these 4 stars because we can always add more 3 stars later. Well, this season is kind of starting off real shitty. 21-19 loss to Northern Illinois. The Central Michigan Chippewas are 0-2. And now we head to the Blue Turf in Boise. Pretty early in the season, but we do indeed get a recruit. 4-star defensive end Zach Folk, in-state recruit, coming to Central Michigan. You know, the worst part about this whole thing is that these are all close losses. Ah, Sharp goes to Ohio State. That sucks. That's really not good. We're locked out when it comes to Denson because of the championship contender deal breaker, but for the moment I want to leave him on the board. Not really costing us many hours. When it comes to Jon Snow, we're doomed. Locked out on Tam, just missed out on his top 3. Locked out on Marks. So 130 hours left here. So if we actually can spend 75 hours on Brendan Beaver. That's new. Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. And then, who can we spend 55 on? We're gonna want to do some work when it comes to Devin Dobbins. I think we're just gonna do that for now. Hope for the best on that. We don't need a kicker necessarily. It's always nice to have in your back pocket. 50 hours to send the house to somebody. Well, we already kind of did that on the defensive tackle already. Let's go with Brian Hurt. Well, a bizarre first win. We beat a Big Ten team, albeit not a very good one. Man, oh man. So close on these other 3 games. Now we finish up non-conference play with Coastal Carolina. So we got locked out on a bunch this week. Mills goes somewhere else. So let's spend 50 on the other 4-star tight end, Josh Hoffman. Tommy Reed, we're in a pretty tight battle here. However, we're still sitting top 3. Who do we need to do work on? Storm Vic to Michigan. That's rough. Britain down to 22 targets. We haven't even done anything on Elliott Hawker, and yet we're pretty high up his board. We can give him 65 hours right now. We're going to do that, even though it's another defensive tackle. I don't know if this season could get much worse. We haven't lost by more than 4 points all season. Central Michigan is now 1-4. Oh my god, man. We got locked out on Kazur because of playing style. Quincy Terra named his top 3, so we're out on that. Championship contender, we're not coming back from that, so we'll get Denson off the board eventually. Holy shit. Outside linebacker Anthony Obi would be a good one to get some work done in, because we're already leading. And we can come back here later as things go wrong. I'm going to leave Howie Kruger on the board for right now, because we're in the top 3. And at current trends, I think this is still just going to continue on the way that it's gone. Well, 2029 is already tied for our highest ranking recruiting class when it comes to 4-stars. We already have 2. More than we had ever before in building the chips. Such a promising season when it comes to recruiting, but this is getting so unbelievably old. We have not lost any of our 5 losses by more than 4 points. What in the Nebraska are we doing here? Oh, the fact that we have that many hours is not good. Brendan Beaver goes to Michigan State. Or maybe we just got more hours. I'm not entirely certain. We're still locked out when it comes to Kazur. Leading on Hoffman. We could do some work on Tommy Reed. That'd be great. Although, I don't know. He's so close. He's so close. We might as well get him off the board. JP Madu. He's not in his top 3 yet. So I feel like there's still a chance here. Even though he's a bust. Curl. Same deal. Rice, probably a little too little too late, so we're going to take him off the board. We still have a chance here when it comes to Villain, so we'll spend 65 of the 75 available on him. Anthony Obi, let's get more work done there. How about the kicker? We're leading on the kicker. We're leading on the punter, although the kicker does have some competition. But for the moment, not really a concern. Kruger, we still have that deal breaker, but we have such a big lead at the current moment that I'm going to leave him on the board. Haven't spent a single point on Okafor here. Hey, if we actually might not need to do any more work. We're not at week 11 yet with that visit upcoming for Purdue. So we might get Elliott Hawker this next week. Brian Hurt. Spend 15 down here. Outside linebacker, always a position of need for us. And then can't do 15 on Burks. Let's force the issue a little bit when it comes to the center, Paul Markham. So as expected, 4-star defensive tackle Elliott Hawker has committed to CMU, which makes this the first time we've ever gotten more than 2 4-stars here. Knowing how this recruiting system works is like, An actual deal breaker. Holy shit. Well, we do win. Our first MAC win of the year. So, that's good. I'm not sure if we can dig ourselves out of this hole. It'd pretty much have to be win out. Miami's sub 500 overall. Western is leading, or not leading, they have a winning record, rather. Toledo's sub 500, Ohio's sub 500, and so is Eastern. So we're still locked out on Kazur because of the playing style. C+, we need a B-. I'm going to leave him there for now. Hoffman goes to Iowa State. That sucks. I really wanted one of those 4-star tight ends. Not much I don't think we're going to be able to do on Curl. Madu looks like a losing battle. Villain, for fucking some reason, is considering Eastern over us. That really stinks. Obi, we're looking good. Still locked out here on Kruger. I think that's Louisiana Tech. Has actually made some progress, so I don't know if that's looking very good. Okafor, even though he's a bust, 50 hours down here. I don't know, the fact that we can spend 75 hours on some of these guys now is kind of messing me up. Burks, he'll get 50, up to 65. Still looking real good on Brutus, but spend the 15 there. And then there's got to be somebody that we haven't really done anything with yet. The punter, Josh Hicks. It's getting to the point where, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to let Kazur go another week and hope for the best. George Curl goes to Syracuse. Madu to Purdue. Villain to Toledo. Still locked out on Kruger, but things aren't looking that bad yet. Looking good on Hurt. For the moment, we're looking good on Burks. I think this is going to be a good week to go in and see if there's anybody left in the prospect list in terms of 4-stars. Got a 4-star receiver open. #1 player in the state of Oklahoma. Interesting. We have that sorted by any, though, so the chances of a lot of positions still having 4-stars open are not very good. Could there be any tight ends? There actually is. Manny Andrade. Add him to the board. Offensive tackle, I think, is where we're going to have to settle for 3 stars, unfortunately. Unless we get some of the guys that we still have on the list. I don't even know if there's still any 4 stars left. Just down on all the safeties. So it looks like it's going to be 3 stars from here on out. I think we missed out on all the running backs. So let's look towards 3-star backs here. Caleb Ibrahim here is actually 40th in the position, which might be the best I've seen, even though he's a receiving back. Let's add him to the board. Tight ends, we're going to have to go after 3 stars this year. Missed out on the 4s. Devin Wade, vertical threat. That's good to see, and we're already up there. Surprisingly, given that he's from Connecticut. Center, I'm not too sold on the fact that we need a 3-star here in our class yet. Defensive end, we're actually doing pretty good. Let's head to outside linebacker. Doug Mace. Sam Mayo. That crazy or is the best one? Oh, no. Sergio Isidora. Isidora? I have no idea. Add him to the board. Middle linebacker. Not a need. But Isaiah Sturm. And 3-star corners. Brody McKeithen. We're second on his board already, even though he's from New Jersey. That works out for us. Vince Morey. 3rd on his board. And then safety is actually going to be a position we're going to try and load up with when it comes to the 3 stars. Joe Friend. We're going to have to catch up on Eastern, but Joe Friend sounds like a guy that we need. Strong safety 2. Let's add Lattimore and D'Imperio, and that's our board full. A whole bunch of guys added to the board now. So we're going to add, or offer some scholarships, rather. See how many hours we have left. It's not going to be that many. Certainly have a chance for the best class we've ever had, though. As long as we fill it up, our class should be ranked pretty high. So 85 hours left. Let's go back to the top of the list and see if there's any 4-stars that still need something. Okafor, I don't know. We can't spend 15, but we can spend 5, so we're going to do that. Brian Hurt, looking good for now. We got him maxed out on ours. Courtney Burks, same. Max Brutus, the fullback. No threat right now. 4-star center. Let's spend the 50 hours on Paul Markham. Try and get something done. And then we're going to have to do something on a couple of these 4-stars we added to the board. Because otherwise, we're probably going to miss out on their top 8. So, need to try and do something and hope that they don't make their decisions. Andrade and Pace here in the next week. There it is. Once again, we haven't lost by more than 5 points now. That's our worst loss of the entire season. 32-27 to Miami of Ohio. On the plus side, as bad as it's going on the field, at least we seem to be making progress when it comes to recruiting. Still not looking good when it comes to Kazur. Obi we're really close with. The unfortunate part is I think he's got this visit with Louisville like this week. Dobbins looking good. We might lose out on the punter if we don't spend some hours, but I'd rather go down and get some action in on the 3-stars we just added to the board. As many of them as we possibly can. I just saw something pop up on my phone from Reddit about a new update for this game. I got something done. Meredith, we missed out on his top 3. We'll get him off the board. Pace. How are we? We're actually leading on Markham. Oh, we might have to rethink here on some of these 3-stars. Let's go into recruiting. Back these out for the first time. I only learned last night that you could even do this. We need to get some points available so we can go in and send everything we have at Andrade. 45 hours. I still need to free up 5 to send the house. So we'll take that 5 away from Maddox, even though we're kind of in a tight battle. So let's head to Ibrahim, send the house. That's our week done. 4-star outside linebacker Brian Hurt becomes the 4th 4-star to commit to Central Michigan this year. Out of Mobile, Alabama. We have loved recruiting in the South. Well, we beat Western, so the dream of bowl eligibility is still alive somehow. We've got Toledo, who's 5-5, Ohio, who's 4-5, and Eastern, who's 4-5. We'll see, but we got to win out. Well, that dream is going to officially be dead when it comes to Kazur. We're not inside his top 3, so that's bad. And Obi, I kind of had a feeling with that visit upcoming for Louisville that they were going to snipe him from us. We are still so close when it comes to Kruger, though. Think about how massive that would be. We've been locked out all year. If only we could fix our playing style to whatever the fuck he wants and get that flipped up, because, I mean, we're so close. If we were able to spend hours on the guy, things would be going great. Okafor to Miami. Burks, his whole deal is just going real slow. Could we... No, I don't know if we have any home games left, to be honest. 195 hours. So let's get some stuff done here on Ibrahim. How'd we do on Andrade? Top of the board. Good to see. So we're going to skip these 2 3-star tight ends. Head down here to Bibbs. 45 hours left now. So let's just go with a nice little subtle 5 on as many of these 3 stars as we can get. That makes it official. CMU will not be going bowling here in 2029. And our worst loss is by 5. This season has been probably the most brutal because, I mean, I know we got worse from the MAC title season last year, but holy, man. I mean, the fact that we're just not losing by much. Look at our losses all season long. 3, a 2-point loss, a 4-point loss, another 4-point loss, 3-point loss, 5-point loss, 4-point loss, 3-point loss, actually. We're so close. There we go. Courtney Burks. I think he was the one that had us locked out with that deal breaker. But I think that's our 4th or 5th 4-star of this class. 4-star cornerback, Courtney Burks. And another 4-star here, Paul Markham, who was a late addition. He commits as well. That is our first MAC Offensive or any Player of the Week award all season long. Junior wide receiver Antoine Butt with 7 catches, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. We also have some coach points that we could spend here as well. Kruger to Louisiana Tech. Still looking good when it comes to Brutus. Got a good chunk of hours here. We could do a little bit of something more when it comes to the kicker. I mean, I don't want to really send the house when it comes to a punter. We'll be a little bit conservative. Probably not going to happen with Josh Hicks at all. Brutus, we're fine. Andrade, we might get inside his top 3. In fact, maybe even possibly get a commit. Right in this upcoming week. We're doing okay on a lot of these guys. Moses Coetzee, do that. Barry, spend the 50. Macy, spend 50 and spend 5 here on Khan. 5 here on... Actually, I totally forgot about Joe Friend. This entire time, I forgot about Joe Friend. Take those 50 points away from Macy, and we are gonna do everything we can. I mean, we're actually fairly good. We could take the 5 away here, and then we're also gonna take 5 away from one of the tight ends. We'll take 5 away from Wade. And we're going to spend 65 points on Joe Friend, sorry. Eastern Michigan gets a little bit of revenge, and it took all season long for us to lose by more than 1 score. Central Michigan finishes 2029 at 4-8, 3-5 in MAC play. And it just, I mean, outside of the final game of the season, I mean, it's just a play away the entire time. Worst loss up until week 13 was by 5. Now, given that we've actually done fairly well with the 4 stars, where do we rank in total recruiting class rank? Pretty bad, just because we don't have a lot of signings. The punter, Josh Hicks, goes to Wisconsin. That's not exactly unexpected. Only 50 hours to spend this week. Treggs to Middle Tennessee, who we lost to. Maddox to Colorado. Locked out on Isidora. And locked out on D'Imperio. But still 24 targets. So 50 hours here. We're in a tight battle when it comes to Shulo here. There we go. Another 4-star in this class. 4-star tight end. A late addition that we had to do a lot of work on. Manny Andrade. So it's not the 4-star tight end that we wanted, but we'll take it. From Texarkana as well. Oh, and we also get another recruit here in Caleb Ibrahim, 3-star running back. Really close on Max Brutus. 200 hours to spend here. McKeithen goes to Penn State. Friend went to Michigan out of nowhere. Holy. We're going to spread these hours out a little bit to these guys that we haven't really done a whole lot on as much as we can. Not even really checking the rankings when it comes to these guys. Just trying to make it so we don't have to completely panic right at the very end of the season. We'll also get 5 hours in on Devin Wade. Still have 80 hours left, though. Could try and force the issue when it comes to Devin Robbins here. Back into the prospect list, we're going to want to add more of these recommended guys because we're getting down on it here. Don't need any quarterbacks. Pretty much just any sort of body that wants to play at this school right now. Conrad Stacy. Daniel Dodge. We've had good success with Dodges. Snodgrass, and then one more. Sam Office. What a name. So should have enough points here this week to at least offer scholarships to the guys that we just added to our board. Hope some guys sign here in the next couple weeks so we can divide and conquer when it comes to our total recruiting hours. Oh, hey, so look at this. So we can actually, for the first time, fire coaches. We finally timed it right. So let's fire Carroll and see what's out there. Oh, that's available next week. We'll fire both of our coordinators and see where we get from there. Got the the second-ranked fullback in the class, Max Brutus from Salt Lake City, Utah. Didn't need a fullback this year, but always good to have some depth, even at a position that half of the country doesn't use. We also get 3-star right tackle Brett Bibbs. A tight end we didn't necessarily need, but always good to have the depth. 3-star tight end Moses Cote out of Wilmette, Illinois. Well, so now that we're past the initial 4 seasons by a good bit now, we're going to start seeing some Heisman winners who we're unfamiliar with because they're not real people. Malik Bland, senior quarterback for Washington. 3,700 yards, 42 touchdowns, 6 picks, wins the Heisman. Should be able to manage staff now. I think that's generally how that works. So let's see. Coach Prestige is a C. I think they're all going to be C's, aren't they? That's just kind of been our luck when it comes to trying to hire other coordinators, that everyone's a C. So really the best thing for us to do might be to hire more of a guy that focuses on something that we don't really have unlocked yet, or like this, Rashawn Charles here with Motivator. That's actually fairly solid. I don't know if he's going to sign here, but we'll offer him the job. And then when it comes to the defensive coordinator, probably the same sort of deal. Now, he's got some motivator in him. So does this one. Not much going on there. Even though he's level 23. Another motivator here when it comes to Tavares Carmen. Level 17, though. We could really get crazy and get another guy that's a good recruiter. Dalton Spears. I mean, or just go into this level 20 Cooper Selleck, Darren Gardner. Double XP bonus for signing a recruit. Oh, wait. He's got elite recruiter? What? Elite recruiter, huh? Yeah, that sounds good. Now, the time we tried to hire new coaches, new coordinators in the previous go-around of building CMU, they both said yes, so I don't really know if they can say no. I guess we'll find out. So we hired the one, we missed out on the elite recruiter, it does appear. So now we have to regroup here. Got the tactician, motivator. I mean, if we can get an elite anything, it could mean a lot for us. But that's not going to happen. So, where was the recruiter? I think it must have been Spears. We'll try and sign Spears. Here's your final score in the national title game. Georgia, as the #1, beats the #2 Kentucky Wildcats by 6. That's how you can tell we're getting a little bit deeper into this dynasty. Fucking Kentucky is in the natty. Holy shit. Haven't been able to recruit in a little bit, but 3-star right guard Bo Berry signs on. Frees up some more hours before we head into the offseason. Players leaving is a little scary. There is a good chunk, and we only get 4 persuasions. Kyrie Strait was the guy we got to transfer here last year after we beat him in a bowl game. Now, he is the best player here, so I feel like we have to give it a go. Oh, wow, he actually decided to stay. That's a bit of a surprise. So we're going to go and try and persuade Romeo Rudder. Because he's only a sophomore. He doesn't come back. Then we're going to drop down here to a couple of the freshmen with a medium chance to persuade. Okay, we're 2 for 3. And we'll also get the linebacker Hickson. 2 for 2. Could be worse. 2 of 2. God, no, not even 2 of 2. 2 and 2. Why do I screw that up every time? Well, a little bit more uncertainty when it comes to this offseason than the prior year. Take a look at the transfer portal, and, oh boy. That's not looking very good, is it? Am I seeing not a single open 4-star? That appears to be the case. Is there anybody open? Anybody that's going to talk to us at all? It does not appear so. So we're going to have to go in. We a 1-star again? Maybe after that season. I mean, I guess we don't really have to go in here. I'm sure there's probably some guys we can get off the board, like Sam Mayo, Isaiah Sturm, Cameron Clapp. We can free up some spots on our board here. Actually, a good few. Stacy, Snodgrass. The loss of John Friend was just the guard listed as a need. We'll add that. What else? Whoa! Wait, never mind. That's somebody already on our board. Somebody already signed on to us. Add in some players that we don't necessarily need, just to have some guys, I guess. Fill up the board. Somehow, some way. Kind of salvage this recruiting class a little bit. We did really good when it came to the 4-stars. We neglected the 3-stars until the very end. So we'll see what we're able to get done here. The kicker in Robbins, at the moment, we don't really need to do much. We're his only offer, really his only interest. Move on from that. Devin Wade, again, I mean, not really a player that we need to do a ton with, judging by the current landscape of things, so very minor. If we spend any sort of hours on Macy here, it'll probably be enough, but we're going to make sure that we get him. We lead on Maury, spend 25. We're really, really close here, so we could just spend 15 and call it good. O'Kane may take a bit of a Hail Mary, which seems a little bit silly to do, but we're going to try it. Spend 25 on Eckert. Fasano may require a little more. We'll send the house for now. Booker has some interest and an offer from Iowa. That's not good. Give him 65. Now this is where it's going to get a little scary. We're not going to be able to do this for everybody. Be very conservative here on Alex Kendricks. Stephen Mangum, same thing. Very conservative with our hours. Daniel Dodge, we lead by a good bit, but we still want to make progress, so we're going to give him a little bit. Sam Office, we're going to send the house on him this week. Quinn Atkins, this is all brand new. This is where we get into the guys that, I mean, we haven't done anything with yet. Spend 60. Robinson is going to require a good bit. Might miss out on some guys here at the bottom of the list. So which one do we need the most? Not really defensive tackle. Not really the quarterback in Carnegie. Let's go middle linebacker Jordan McGlynn. We'll just spend all 30 for now. Well, we're expecting to get at least a couple commits this week. Doug Macy, 3-star right outside linebacker out of Florida. We also get Miles Shulo. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. 3-star free safety. Let's actually go in and spend some points here on the kicker in Devin Robbins to force the issue there. Devin Wade, still no reason to do anything more than what we're already doing. Same with Maury. O'Keen comes off the board. He commits to Iowa. And McGlynn, we never even made his top 5 or anything. So, see where we're at with the guys up here. We lead on Eckert. We lead on Fasano. Booker, we've already spent the max. Same with Schwenke here. Get a little bit of action in on Kendricks. Mangum, I think we're going to be okay. Dodge, I think we're going to be fine. Office may take a little bit more. I hate soft selling because I'm just not sure what the fucking point is. So we're just going to... We'll spend 15 and call it good when it comes to Office. Juan Stout, work is going to have to be done. We're going to be able to get most of everybody on our board getting some hours of attention this week just by doing this. In fact, going to be able to get everybody. 3-star tight end Devin Wade. Didn't need him after the commit of the 4-star, but like I said, always good to have some depth, good to have some options. We also get 3-star cornerback Vince Maury. That's it. Only locked out on Fordham, the defensive tackle that we really didn't need anyway. So Fordham goes. Anybody left sitting out here that we might be able to use? That's a quarterback. That's a quarterback. Running back, tight end. And linebacker's not a need. Gotta be somebody still available that actually fits a need that's a 3-star, yeah? You'd think. There's a lot of 2-stars here. That's a quarterback. Why does it... I don't know. I don't know why all this is recommended. We'll scroll down the list for a little bit and see which one's a need, if any. I mean, if we have to settle for a 32-man recruiting class, it is what it is. So, just a chance to spend some hours on some guys that need it then. I think we're going to be set with these current guys that we have. Eckert, I think, is going to be good here this next week. We'll see. Feeling pretty good on Mangum. Feeling pretty good on Dodge. Feeling pretty good on Atkins. Could get some work done on Juan Stout. Not a lot. So we don't have that much free hours. But feeling pretty good about it. Zaire Khan. We got 50 hours. We can't spend 50 hours on him, though. So, Khan may be a losing battle. McGee is probably going to be a losing battle for sure. And then Fraley. Do that. And then anybody that we can spend 5 on? Who needs it more? Fasano or Eckert? Probably Fasano. We'll do it here. 3-star safety Skylar Schwenke has committed to Central Michigan, as has 3-star defensive tackle Quinn Atkins. Just Zaire Khan. So 165 hours to spread out on these guys that could use a little bit more. So we're going to do what we can here. Fasano. I'm going to spend 10. Booker, we're maxed out. Kendricks. Not a whole lot we can do. I mean, his interests are all things that we don't do well. We'll hit a couple of those interests, but also the A- playing time, I guess. Mangum, looking pretty good. Probably don't need to do anything too crazy, although he does have an offer from Penn State, so we might want to do something. Dodge, we're his only offer. Office, we've done what we can. For the most... Yeah, no, we can't do anything else there. Robinson, we can spend 5 just to try and do something. Stout, we could spend 30 in Sway. Now, the Sway is not looking very good because our grades here are terrible. That's the worst Sway of all time. Do that with Carnegie. McGee is going to be a losing battle for sure. How's Fraley doing? I feel like we'd have a better chance if we... Oh, we only have 20, so we can only soft sell here when it comes to Fraley. This might not be the greatest recruiting class in the world. Our grades stink. National Signing Day. Free safety Steve Booker, 3-star out of Mount Morris, commits to Central Michigan. 3-star defensive end Alex Kendricks. 3-star middle linebacker Daniel Dodge. 3-star wide receiver Sam Office. That's a great name to have on the team. Kicker Devin Robbins finally signs on the dotted line. 3-star running back Stephen Mangum. That is it. That's a little scary. So it's going to be a 30-man class. Where do we rank? Hey, look at that. That is our best recruiting class rank here in building the Chippewas. We signed 7 4-stars this year. That's a top 25 recruiting class. Training results show us what we want to see. Sean Butts is an 86 overall now, heading into his redshirt senior season. That's a tough quarterback to not play. Even though Paul Spitz is here. And I mean, if we sit him yet another year, we're only going to get to use him for 2. Hopefully Spitz is where Butts is now heading into his junior season. Running back remains a little bit of a question. Reggie Johnson, that's not good. Receivers are still real weak. I don't know. Let's take a look at the incoming freshmen when they actually get here. Encourage transfers. Let's see if we have a... Oh, boy, do we have a roster that's too big. Well, this is going to be not a whole lot of fun. Redshirt freshman Taj Perfect. He's probably going to have to go. Probably going to have to lose a lot of guys at a lot of positions. We can lose... Let's be honest, we can lose Uzoma Awesome. Not super worried about it, because we do have the sophomore in Britton Wiley. Redshirt sophomore Corey Graves, Jason Ricks. Corey Graves ain't going to pan out, so we'll encourage a transfer here. Fullback, I want to keep both of those. Oh, senior wide receiver Sean Dodge. That's unfortunate because he was actually pretty beneficial for us. We'll also get Kenyon Mechie to transfer as well. Tight ends. Andrade starts off as our best tight end, which is encouraging. We'll also encourage the transfer of Marquez Lockett. Don't have a single true left guard on the roster. Kind of want to keep most of the centers. We could probably encourage the transfer of Hardick. Right guard. Jalen Ream's probably going to be useful somewhere else on this roster. So we won't worry about that. Let's head into the defense. Defensive tackle. I don't really want to do any of that. Probably going to be in a rough spot here. Alejandro Bean. Encourage that transfer. Fontaine. Costanzo. Corner. Simon Prescott's a senior and is cornerback number 4 on the roster. We'll encourage that transfer. Safety, we can only do that to a couple of them. Keenan Hamilton's a senior, and he's far behind Pryor and even the junior in Clark. So we'll do that. But we still need to lose one player. I mean, let's be honest, it could probably be a quarterback, Devin Angerer. So here we go. The final thing to do before 2030 is get our schedule all set. So we're back up to an 84 overall. Even after what we lost via graduations or the transfer portal, we're kind of right around where we were. But a great season of recruiting last year has us set up hopefully well for the future now that we fucking know how to recruit. So we're going to go back a little bit more conservative on the schedule. It didn't pan out at all in the last season. And we don't really care if we're ranked that much when it comes to the season's end. We just want to make a bowl game again. Win some games, get some people interested. We'll play Army. We're definitely not playing the #1 team in the country. Play East Carolina. Georgia Southern's a little bit tougher. Maybe a ranked opponent that really probably shouldn't be ranked. Maybe a rematch against Middle Tennessee at home. Make it a home and home there. We actually have 5 non-conference games. What the hell? Why do we have 5 non-conference games? Who the hell? Did somebody leave the MAC? Alright. Well, I guess we're going to schedule something here. Now, does that happen? Do teams just leave conferences sometimes? Like, if you don't go in to edit the conferences, does that just happen? Play Army at home. We'll play Army on the road. Play Middle Tennessee State at home. Hawaii at home. And we'll go to UConn. That'll be the schedule, at least the non-conference schedule, for 2030. Never mind. No, it won't. Let's just go auto-fix schedules. The command failed. What? Number 5, Stanford, is 82 overalls across the board. Does this work? User teams whose schedule don't meet the desired requirements. I think we're just gonna continue to do this until we get a schedule that we actually care for. Like, this isn't that bad, so I think we might just stick with this. Really, really weird what happened here. So we're gonna get beat down, surely, by Penn State. Even though they're coming to Central Michigan. We'll go to Mississippi State, play East Carolina, and play our... Okay. I'm really, really confused as to what this is. So, I think we might just, unfortunately, be locked in this schedule, because there seems to be a little bit of goofiness going on here. Because then when I try and regenerate it, it doesn't let me do it. So, the schedule, apparently, is going to be Michigan State, Indiana, #1 Penn State. We got 3 Big Ten teams. San Diego State, who went 1-11 a year ago, and then FCS East. I don't know. Another unfortunate little glitch in the game.